What's up, everybody? It's Dave Harter. We are Infinity X, and I am super excited because this is the rebrand and the relaunch with my new partner, none other than Young Gray. Young Gray, what's up, brother?
What's going on, my guy? How's it going, man? This is super excited.
I'm
Glad to be a part, man.
super excited to have you, brother. So why don't you tee up for us what we can expect with We Are Infinity X and who's joining us tonight?
So we got none other than Sheldon Bailey joining us tonight. This is going to be a fun one. I mean, the guy is a legend. If you don't know him now, you will know him. I promise you that. So tune in and get ready for an adventure.
Thanks, Young. And folks, buckle your seatbelt. This is the rebrand. We Are Infinity X. There he is. What it look like, brother?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Awesome.
Back home in Los Angeles.
Been doing a lot of traveling, right?
Yeah, I had a busy weekend this weekend. I had my college basketball reunion at Florida International University,
Nice.
FIU.
Nice.
Down in Miami. So that was great to get back and see the guys and be around friends and family and stuff.
That's amazing, bro. That's amazing. And we're going to play in that space here a little bit, too. I'm just going to do a real quick intro. Shell, so you know, we're going to, this will run for about like 40 minutes approximately. You know, maybe, you know, it's Valentine's, so everybody wanted to get out, you know. But it's about 40, 45 minutes. We're going to chop up micro content for you, and we'll have that out in a Dropbox so you can put that out to your social and everything as well.
That's good. Beautiful. Yeah, like the video you did today was pretty cool.
Oh, thanks, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. And we want to flood the marketplace with this, right? Because everything that you're up to is just sick, and we want your brand recognition to just go to next level, you know?
Appreciate it.
Of course, brother. So I'm going to kick this thing kicked off here, and whenever you're ready. Okay, Dan, we're good to go? Okay. From the production studios of Epic Financial Strategies here in Red Bank, New Jersey, we are Infinity X. The rebranded We Are Infinity X. I am joined by my new partner and my brother, Young Gray. Dave, what up, buddy? How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. Life is good, man. Thanks for making this happen. I'm glad to be a part of the team, man, and looking forward to the future with what we got going, man.
You know, and it is absolutely massive. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dave Marone, a.k.a. Young Gray, who is my business partner and somebody who I've become incredibly close with. And we are partnering and co-branding the new and improved and radically interesting We Are Infinity X. We're going to give a stage and microphone to human excellence each and every single week, and we're going to be focused on entertainers, on actors, people that you want to see, people that you're going to pay attention to. And tonight is literally no different. We are joined this evening by Sheldon Bailey. Yes, you heard it, folks. Sheldon Bailey. What up, buddy?
Wow.
Hey, I love the intro. Love it.
My man. My man. Dave, why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you intro and kick off the conversation with Shell?
Yeah, so I've been honored to actually be friends with Sheldon. And just to see the journey of what he's doing right now, it's mind blowing to me. Like to get to know like a little bit of his story, like of his like upbringing and some of his past projects that he's worked on, some of his upcoming projects he's going to be working on, all of that good stuff. But from where he was to where he's moving right now. Honestly, I don't think there's going to be one person that's not going to know the name. So I'm glad that we're able to get him on at such a good time in his career right now. Because in the next few months, I'm going to be calling him. I'm going to be like, Shell, hop on my private jet.
Hey, yo, he's like, you don't have a seat on this rocket ship, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, man. Sheldon, it is such an honor and a privilege, brother. Where are you from?
Well, I was born in Germany. I was raised in Germany for a part of my life. And then I mainly call North Carolina home, though, because North Carolina is where I spent most of my formative years, and it's where my father is from, and where I feel most connected to. But I did live in Germany 2 different times. I lived in Texas 2 different times.
Damn.
Probably a little Kentucky briefly and Georgia briefly, but I would say NC is the crib.
Gotcha, bro. What had you moving around?
Yeah.
What had you moving around so much? Was it military or what was it?
Both of my parents were in the U.S. Army, and they got divorced early on in life. I was like about 5 years old. They split, so that kind of set up a life. You know what I'm saying? Kind of between the two of them, and then also my grandmother that was in North Carolina.
Gotcha.
Because there was a period of time where both parents got sent away to two different places, and I couldn't go to either, and so
Damn.
grandma stepped in and held it down.
No question. Much respect to grandma, bro. And what was that like? Was it hard, like moving around so much? Was like couldn't get into a groove kind of thing, or did you enjoy it?
A little bit early because it was always kind of nerve wracking. I didn't really come into myself yet. But once I think I moved to North Carolina, like in the fourth grade, and I got like way more comfortable, and also I started to like come into my athleticism as well. And so for real, being athletic did help. You know what I'm saying? Like when you like win the most ribbons at field day, like you know what I'm saying, you got a little clout.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you always like bigger and stronger than a lot of the other kids, even younger, or?
Yeah, but I wasn't coordinated at first. I was always taller. And you know what I'm saying? I was always taller, but I really wasn't that coordinated. But when I got to North Carolina, I started playing more basketball, and I also was around my father more. And so that really helped me with like developing my athletic skills and basketball and stuff like that. And that also gave me like even more confidence too, just as like a person and being around at school and stuff like that. So I feel like first moving from Germany, like this really tall black kid from Germany, you know what I'm saying? Like definitely was kind of
Yeah.
odd early.
Like, did you put your birth certificate in German? Your
I,
original
I
birth?
have two. I have two birth certificates. I have a German birth certificate and I have a U.S. Birth certificate.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like it basically says like I was born in the U.S. installation abroad.
Okay. Heck yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So
Uh huh.
then you go to North Carolina, you're just fucking dominating, right? You're dominating
I
on the
pretty
court.
much I started dominating around 12 years old. It was a wrap. Like 10 years old, but 12 years old. Yeah, I had two buddies with me, and we were inseparable, and we just balled all the time, and we kind of like for our age like ran the city. And then when
Love it.
I got
Love it.
to junior high school, they wouldn't allow me to play varsity basketball, but I was good enough, so I practiced with the varsity and all of that. And then by the time I got to high school, like I was, a high school basketball star. I was number one in the state of North Carolina,
Oh,
top player in the country, being recruited by over 100 universities.
oh God damn.
And yeah,
I gotta
That's
tell,
great.
bro, human excellence at its finest, right there. And you're giving me nightmares right now, Shell, because a dude your size, I grew up in Ossining, New York, and about 2 towns away from me was Peekskill, and that's where Elton Brand is from, right? And I played against him in high school. And I was the victim of a poster, right? I got caught on a 2-on-1 fast break, and here comes Elton. He
yeah,
was 6'7" at that time. He's
Oh
like a freaking
no.
freight train, and here I am. Look at me, you know what I mean? And he absolutely just made
yeah.
me eat every part of his body, bro. It was like, so I can't
El,
even.
Elton, Elton Brand is amazing. I first saw Elton Brand. I was being recruited by NC State, and I went to the NC State Duke game,
Oh
and I
yeah.
watched Elton Brand as a freshman dominate. And then we kind of became buddies because I was playing for a minor league team, a semi-pro team here in LA,
Yep.
and he played for the Clippers. But at the time, we had the same facility, so I would see Elton regularly. And then I hadn't seen him for like maybe like 10 years or something. And I ran into him at a restaurant, and he's the general manager of the 76ers
Yeah, I
now.
know.
And I walked up to him, and he was like, "Yo, Shells," like he remembered, from playing pickup and a couple little stories from, back in the day. And I was like, "That's dope." And it's like looking at this guy, who would ever thought Elton Brand would be the general manager of the 76ers?
Oh,
Like
dude.
that's prominent.
And you should, and some of the stuff that he's done in his community, and I know that's something that's near and dear to your heart too, which I want to really dig into also. But some of the things that he's done for the community of Peekskill and also Philadelphia. What he's doing in Philadelphia is just insane, you know. And it's just, I think it just really speaks to character, you know, Shell. And like from the minute that you and I talked on the phone the other day with Dave, I just recognize that you're just a man of just super, super, super high character, and that's an intangible you just can't teach. You know what I mean? And like I think that that's probably a major attribute to your success, which is like a fucking rocket ship right now. And you know, Dave, why don't you talk now? You played at Florida International, which is ridiculous ball. And then you know, like, and then what transpired after that? Like, what happened next? You went semi-pro, but then you decided to pivot.
So, well, I kind of led you up to that part of the story. So, what happened was everything was going so swell basketball wise, and then I wound up I have a complete tear on my left knee, right? This freak accident. I tore my ACL, my MCL, and my meniscus all in one. It was only really one ligament that was like left, and that was all repaired, and I had to really rehabilitate at 16 years old, and it really made me question, you know, a lot about life and things. But what I did was I was already a solid student, but I became an even better student. I also became an even more serious actor in studying acting because I had some more time. I was on crutches. I couldn't play. So that also allowed me time. I had a really passionate drama teacher at high school. I took drama, and he took a liking to me, and I really got into that even more. So for me, it was always basketball and acting as things that I really loved and was passionate about.
When did your love for acting really happen? Like, was it before the drama teacher, or did you fell in love with it?
I took drama because I always knew I was going to be an actor. I loved movies. My family always loved movies. Like, we just was like super indoctrinated with like movies, bro. Like, my parents, like, we would, like, in Germany, that was one of their favorite things. We would rent movies, a bunch of movies. And that was the thing in my house. And we had this video. My mom still got the VHS video library. It's like freaking thousand movies, man.
That's incredible. What was your first acting gig that you ever had?
First acting gig.
You remember?
The first professional acting job. I did a commercial with Dwayne Wade for Converse. And it was Dwayne Wade's first commercial of his career. And it was Fall 7, Get Up 8. And then I did another commercial with D-Wade. And I did 2 commercials with Shaq, 2 Icy Hot commercials with Shaq.
Oh, no way. Really?
And so,
that's awesome.
Yeah. No, but what the thing was, I benefited from their success. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shaquille O'Neal came to Miami. Like, I knew that was going to bring the industry here. So there's an automatic influx of basketball commercials or basketball related like commercials. And I just happened to be like coming into the game right then at that moment. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, ain't none of these actors a better basketball player than me at all, period. So
yeah, that's crazy, dude.
And Shaq, when he's taping it, he's like, you know, like he's got such, you know.
Yeah, Shaq was cool, but see, the thing is, Shaq and I have a similar story because he came up in a military family.
Yep.
We happened to be in Germany around the same age, like not the same time, but around the same age. He was 13. I remember I was 13. And so I talked to him and he connected with that. And Shaq actually showed me a lot of love. We played a game of 21 against each other.
Nice.
We tried to dunk on each other. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? I love the Diesel.
Did you get one off on Shaq or?
Man, I almost did. I swear, I put this on everything, bro. Because Shaq kind of underestimated me. He didn't know I had bounce, and I'm like, bro, I got like league bounce. So I go up on him. And right as I'm putting it in the hoop, he shoves me hard. Like he pushes me out the way. I'm like, Shaq, bro, that's a foul. Like he was like, nah.
He's like, yo, when you're the Diesel and you're this size, I can speak any way I want. I can do anything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So he was like, it's my turn. I'm like, how is it your turn? Like you just fouled me. So I'm telling you, my hand was in the thing, like, and he's shoving me.
Oh my God.
So then the next time, I blocked his dunk, the first one. And then he was like, nah, it's my go again. And I'm like, come on, Shaq. Like, give me, like, it should be my turn. But so then he goes and he hits me with a forearm in my chest. It's just like, it was like a wall. Like, cause I went to jump with all my might. I jumped with all my might, and it just stopped me. It stopped all my momentum. And then I just was stuck looking at him, and he cocked it all the way back and just boom. The
Jeez.
rafters shook. Everybody was like, "What the like, yo?"
Yeah.
I was like,
That's
yeah, it was
easy.
crazy.
I
It
just,
was that was like that Shaq power. I like that was like I got the Shaq attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well-
but I was so happy. Like as the little kid in me was excited. Like I
of
was, oh my
course. I
god,
just
like
got
this is
dunked.
the
Like
Shaq
that's how I
attack.
felt with Elton
Yeah.
Brand. I'm like, yo, this. I wish they got that on video. You know, I'd be replaying
That's
that like crazy.
great.
You know. Oh my god.
For sure.
So
For sure. I
after,
used to do this show. I played background. Like my first like TV roles is like background roles. They had a show called South Beach. It only lasted one season. But it was also Pitbull's first acting role. I remember Pitbull. I watched Pitbull's first acting scene on TV because I was like one of the entourage people in the background or whatever. And that was cool, man. Doing that way back then.
that is crazy. I got a question for you. So, with the exception of Shaq, what other big name ballers would you say that you've played against?
Played against.
Yeah.
I've done commercials with like all these guys. Playing against. I mean, Blake Griffin is crazy with the size and athleticism. Paul Pierce is one of my favorite basketball players to play on the court with because Paul Pierce is just so skilled at everything in basketball, and he's like a good floor leader. And I don't know, just watching Paul Pierce work is like really dope. I think I probably had some of the most trouble guarding Corey Maggette.
Oh yeah.
And there was a dude named Craig Smith that was just kind of tough matchup problems for me. But for the most part, I was kind of cool. And then I played against Ron Artest, and I think Ron Artest is like crazy, like
Yeah.
super. Nah, not crazy. I didn't finish my statement, man. I was saying crazy strong, but maybe literally crazy strong, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of he did a post move that I didn't think was actually legal. But
That's crazy, dude.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and but
So-
you know, Ron, to your point, he can kind of get away with stuff like that too. I mean, did you ever see?
Exactly.
I mean,
what am I gonna do? Fight? What I
What
want?
are you
I want
gonna
to fight
fight?
Ron Artest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There was a clip, I'll never forget it, when Ron was on the Knicks, right? He changed to Meta World Peace at that point, and Tyler Hansborough, who was like one of the dirtiest cats in the game, right?
Psycho T.
Psycho T. Loved him, right? He worked hard, but he got into a fight with everybody because everybody couldn't stand him, right? So he fouled somebody hard. He got fouled hard. And he was turning around like he was going to do something, but it was Ron Artest, right? And the look on his face when he figured out that it was Ron, the whole dynamic changed, bro.
You know that this one might go to the death.
Yeah.
This one might go to the death.
For real. Like, seriously, like, this is not going to end with me above ground, you know? Amazing. Amazing. And
So next step in the journey, right? So you're doing commercials and stuff like that. You've done a few big commercials. What came after that?
So what I was doing was I actually went to play basketball. And so that's kind of where the international basketball stuff came in. And I went down to Ecuador because my son was conceived. And so I figured I could go. I didn't get drafted out of college. I had, whatever the reasons, whatever. So I just really was more focused on entertainment stuff at the time, acting, modeling, doing music. But I was staying in shape and I was attending different workouts. So I was putting myself in position, but I wasn't really tripping. But when my son was conceived, I was like, all right, let me go get this hooping bag real quick. So I went to Ecuador and hooped. And that started this journey. I went to Albany. I played in Albany for the CBA. Right. Albany Patroons was the story. So they celebrated CBA team. Guys like freaking like Phil Jackson and George Karl and Michael Ray Richardson come through there. Jamario Moon was one of my teammates, the NBA guy. Right. But anyways, Felipe Lopez was on the team, which is crazy. Iconic New York basketball player, Felipe Lopez. Yeah. I went to China. I got drafted to go to China, and I was over in China. But even then, like, I'm in the CBA. I'm getting called to do TV roles. in commercials in Miami. And I'm just like, I don't want to be in Yakima, Washington right now. Like, I'd rather be in Miami on set, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is just where I was at, like, with it.
Now
And then I wound up getting a situation in LA. My agent got me, he's like, I got a team in LA and I got a movie situation for you in LA. He was like, you can go to LA and make either one of them work. You know what I'm saying? Let me know.
Mm.
And I was like, bet I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where did now the first time I've ever seen you, ironically, and I don't know if I've ever even told you this, but I'm watching TV and I'm watching it with my kids. And guess where I seen you? First time I've ever seen you.
Game Shakers.
Game Shakers.
Millions of people see me on Game Shakers still to this day. I don't think people really equated and put it together. I don't think they really put two and two together though. Like, oh, that's ruthless. Also, because I don't yell all the time either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you would come in the room, like I would watch it with my son. My kids still watch it, dude, to be honest. So how did that portray? Like what how
Man, that was amazing because first of all, it was just so iconic with Dan Schneider and Kel Mitchell and to be at Nickelodeon. I was like in my second childhood. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to be on Nickelodeon so bad as a kid, but then to be on Nickelodeon as an adult. And then at the time my son was like 9 years old. Like it was like literally the coolest job
ever
that I could have as a single father with the 9-year-old kid being a Nickelodeon TV star.
Hands down, bar none. Absolutely, without a doubt.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, that's like you may as well be Big Bird, to a little kid. I mean, that's
Come on.
Freaking dope.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I took him and his friends to the Kids Choice Awards, the Kids Choice Sports Awards. These kids is riding in the, we getting chauffeured to the award ceremony. It's incredible. It was dope, man. My son grew up with those kids on that show for sure.
That's crazy, man.
So that was, and it was also my first long-standing contract.
Got it.
So I recurred on Shameless, and I did other things, but that was my first long-standing contract where I got signed for a season. I was a series regular.
You were on Shameless?
Yeah, I was on Shameless for 9 episodes.
Get out of here, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, that's awesome. I didn't even know that.
That was my first big TV role, was on Shameless. My first ever TV role was on the Nick Kroll show, though. When Nick Kroll had the Kroll show, I did a couple funny skits with him. But the first TV drama thing that was big, that was Shameless.
What do you prefer, bro? Do you prefer drama or do you prefer comedy?
I like comedy because I have I could do it all, but I like comedy the most because it just feels good. You know what I'm saying? And making people laugh and happy is just like the best to me. You know what I'm saying? But drama seems to get the most respect, but also drama as an actor can be exhausting, I'm sure, depending on what your character is doing or who your character is. Sometimes you really got to dive in there emotionally. You know what I'm saying? And it takes some time to decompress.
No kidding. And give me an example. Like, what's a character that you played that comes to mind that like you had to really decompress
on? There was a short film that I did that was based on a book, and it's set in the future, but it's basically about population control.
Wow,
right?
Dude.
And this guy has to decide if he has to choose between one of his kids, because they unfortunately at this point in time have twins, but only one can live. And so this conversation about that, and this idea of also like committing suicide in order to allow another life to come into this world. You know what I'm saying? And so like that whole concept right there was like heavy. And then there's this moment in this movie where I sit here and I contemplate suicide with a gun to my head.
Oh God.
And it touches even closer to home for me because when I was in the third grade, my grandfather committed suicide.
Oh my fucking
Right.
God.
And so,
God.
and it didn't even, and so like we had that. And I remember my aunt watching my reel and she was just like, I love your reel every step except that one scene. And it just like made me think, I was like, dang, I ain't even would have thought about like how she would look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Holy crow, man. That's deep, bro. That is.
Yeah. So I'd rather keep it lighthearted if I can, but I can give you the deep.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get deep. And it's hard to get up out of that thing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what like the immediate example that pops in my head is Heath Ledger, right? After doing the Joker, that just made him great.
Yeah.
God rest the man's soul, but I mean, shit,
Yeah. One of my acting friends said something on set the other day, and he was like, your body doesn't know that you're acting.
Mm.
And I was like, dang, I never really thought about it like that, but it's like, that's an interesting point of view. Yeah, because he's like, your nervous system is going to react how it reacts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. I would have never thought that, man. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then like this most recent project, working with the guys that I've been working on, like Jay Alphonse is like super on fire, right? Like I feel like I'm warming up, but he's like, I'm watching the guy that's like freaking coals on the flame right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then because he's on that show P Valley, and they
Uh-huh.
just loving him right now. But then also working with Lawrence Fishburne and just watching how this guy moves and works, man, it's been real special. This
Yeah.
last bit.
Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, I want you to hold up on that because I
Okay.
want to get to that later. So so you did obviously the Nickelodeon. You've done a bunch of other stuff. What is going to be the next thing? And I know it's just days away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can still give Nickelodeon some more love because a lot of people, sometimes people try to brush over it or they think like, oh, because it's a kids thing or whatever. Like, nah, that Nickelodeon stuff was serious.
Mm.
Oh,
Like, it was serious in the fact of the numbers, the viewership, the amount of people, the widespreadness of it. Like, people, I have fans from every corner of the world.
Yeah, globally.
Because
Right?
Nickelodeon, based on their Viacom deal, kind of touches almost everywhere on earth. So these kids hit me up from Brazil, Sweden, Nigeria. Nigeria loves Nickelodeon, apparently.
It's insane, dude. That's insane.
I took a trip to Germany. And I went to the Nickelodeon offices in Germany. I went to the Nickelodeon offices in Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? They put me in the Nickelodeon magazine in Amsterdam. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that we actually really did a great job of connecting the dots, but it really put me in a global atmosphere, global arena as an entertainer for sure.
And Kel's a super cool dude.
Kel is so talented. Sometimes like he will remind me of so many different people at different times. Like he would do something, he's like, yo, that's Eddie Murphy right there. He would do something like, oh, that's Martin Lawrence. Or he would do something, I'm like, yo, that's Chris Farley vibes, right? Like the guy's like so talented, but he can sing, he can rap, he can dance. I mean, he can do stand-up.
The crazy thing is, realistically, out of every show on Nickelodeon, Kel is a legend in the game when it comes to that. Kel's been doing it. I was watching Keenan and Kel at like 12 years old, man.
Yeah.
So like the fact that he's still like relevant on Nickelodeon, that can had that long run, it came back like that is crazy.
Yeah, so for me, watching somebody in their second act, because he had the first act, and he was doing things throughout the time, but being back in the spotlight, back in Nickelodeon, and just seeing how he approached work and like the fun that he was having and the energy. I studied him, I watched him, I paid attention to his moves. You know what I mean? I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, a lot of people don't get that opportunity to be back in the mix. You know what I'm saying? 10 years after, kind of 10-year hiatus from proper limelight or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just looking at this success that he's having, and I'm looking at his demeanor, and I'm like, I understand how he was able to do it, because he's super talented, but also how he was treating people and the love that he was showing. He showed a lot of love to me and everybody else that was on that set, and he was happy to be there, and that was dope.
Heck yeah, man. That's sick.
I gotta say something. You know that you made it. You know you made it when somebody when if you Google your name, one of the first pictures that pops up is you with LeBron, right? that's you know you're on a next level when when there's a picture of you and LeBron together. What?
Yeah.
You know, where? That, I mean that's just craziness.
Yeah,
you know.
Tell us about that. What?
Yeah. I mean, I am synonymous with LeBron James, honestly, to this point in time. I'm continuing to work to like eclipse that, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. And I can't knock it because like LeBron is like, he just passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in scoring.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
LeBron is LeBron James. So like, to me, I don't even know. I still kind of like don't really understand exactly what that even means, because I did it for 11 years. But for me, I was doing my job. You know what I mean? Like, but I also, like, at times in my career, I felt like I underachieved, like in my basketball career, right? I felt like I underachieved, right? Even though like I'm still doing basketball related things to this day, but I just, I should have been in NBA, should have been doing some other things, right? This is how I feel about basketball at times. So to be like considered like the second LeBron or like LeBron 2.0 at times used to like kind of aggravate me, because I just felt like I'm just like way better than that. Like as far as like overall talent and everything, like I'm not like the second anybody. I'm the, you know what I'm saying? I'm Sheldon Bailey, and I'm original and unique. And I was like, and at the time, especially early on, I honestly believed in my mind, like I could give LeBron a run for his money. Yeah. Like, period. You know what I mean? That's just how I thought and just where I was at. So I liked the job. The job was dope. It put me in an environment with so many people. I made a good amount of money with it. But I always kind of was like,
got to tell the fans what it was.
Yeah,
just so they know.
Everybody's dying to know. Everybody's dying to know.
Yeah, because we know what you're referring to, yeah. But you got to tell everyone else.
What, the project or what? Just in general, what are we talking about?
Just the job.
No,
what was the what the job was?
So like the job. You were LeBron.
Oh, got it. All right, got it. The job. So the job was to be LeBron's body double and stand in.
Unbelievable.
Right? So, I mean, hey, kudos to me for being in physical shape to be presented as like LeBron. You know?
Well, kudos. Yes. I mean, bro, I mean, this is LeBron we're talking about, man.
This is how everybody else look at it. To me, I'm like, I did a job with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like whatever. So
holy shit.
But yeah. So what you do is, so you have stand-ins and you have body doubles. So sometimes my body double work would incorporate stand-in work. So this means that they prep everything with me, right? So you get all your lighting angles and everything, your camera angles, all your stuff together with me. So usually it's like if I would work with Nike, we would go in a prep day before. They would probably have multiple different sets set up, and they may have one or more body double stand-ins, if you will. Technically, the body double part is whenever your actual body appears on camera as this person's likeness, right?
Okay.
The stand, yeah. So amazing. I would do both.
It's amazing. So
let's say like we did a commercial in Cleveland, and it was LeBron doing different, like he's on the move and he's talking, but he's like working out with his trainer and doing these different things, right? And it flows seamlessly, right? So I had to rehearse that. So then then they get everything right. And so then when LeBron comes, boom, LeBron does it. Now, if there's additional shots, like you want to see an insert of LeBron's hand picking up the weight, right? But you didn't have time to really set up and get that exact shot. You'll get that with me, and that'll be my hand picking up these weights. Or you want to get a good shot of, let's say in the Kia commercial, they really wanted to highlight the valet guy catching the keys, right? So I walk past camera, so you see my body cross the fame, and then I throw the guy the keys, and he catches the keys for me or whatever. So it's basically, I feel like acting like utility work, pretty much. The things that you want in your shot, you need in your shot, but you don't really necessarily have the time or budget, or even you don't have the time with LeBron or the money to have LeBron do it, honestly.
That's crazy, man.
So I did a bunch of those. Like 30. I did like 30 of them over like 11 years, like 30 something these projects.
You did Space Jam too?
I did Space Jam. So I was the guy that created the basketball scenes from scratch. First day, first talent. I was LeBron versus with the Looney Tunes versus the Monstars. They had a concept that they wanted to pitch, so they brought me in and I worked it out from scratch with the camera angles and the graphic people and the cartoonists and shit. And we put it all together. And yeah, that was me. So we did that. And at that time, there was a fictional character that they wanted to put in the project. And so I went up against this fictional character that I guess they wanted to pitch or whatever the case may be. They wound up changing it later. But yeah, I was the first. I was the guy. So with all these basketball scenes, like, I was LeBron in the gym. You know what I mean? Building these scenes up with the camera guys, with the basketball coordinators, with other extras, and like people that were playing like the Looney Tunes or whatever. But then you had like the body doubles, so like the Diana Taurasi person or like the Klay Thompson person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The AD person, like we all were working together, and I worked as LeBron in order to create the basketball scenes, what you saw that came out in the movies.
That's freaking incredible.
That's crazy.
That is unbelievable, man.
So you got another basketball scene coming up, a big one.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I've had a pretty successful run with like one-on-one basketball. Mm-hmm. So I've won one-on-one basketball competitions and championships, and like competed on the world stage in basketball at all levels, honestly, 1-on-1, 3-on-3, 5-on-5. But I get to portray a character that's very similar to myself, which is so weird and like awesome at the same time.
Who are you
playing? Because I've literally won one-on-one basketball championships at Venice Beach. And then I get high, and I'm Big Shell, and I get hired to play Big Dre, the one-on-one basketball champion at Venice Beach. And it's on Bel Air. It's on the #1 TV show. It's over there. And you know what I mean? Like, I love the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. You know what I'm saying? That was a big part of growing up for me, that TV show.
Sure.
And so to be on this show, that's what I'm saying. Like, these things coming around full circle. Like, okay, being on Nickelodeon later as a grown man, are like, who knew that the Fresh Prince of Bel Air would come back? And now look, I'm in the season 2 premiere of it, and I'm doing my thing that I do the best.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing, man. It really is mind blowing.
It's trippy, man. It's so trippy. And I didn't realize I was gonna be in the trailer and all that. You show up, you do your best job and doing that. You know what I mean? Then I watched the trailer. My friends was hitting me up, and I was like, what? And I see the trailer, but I didn't even watch the whole thing first. I seen like the snippet, and I saw like there's like a little piece of me, whatever. And I was like, okay, sure. And then so somebody sent it again, but I saw my face as a thumbnail, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" Yeah. So then I clicked again. I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Okay, Will Smith putting your boy out there."
That's crazy, man. Does Jabari got handles or no?
He's okay. He's all right basketball player. He's working on it. I mean, we do use it. They use a double. You know what I'm saying? Like, they use a double for him, especially for the dunks. But it's all cool.
Can he?
Yeah.
It comes out looking solid.
So I got a question.
You gotta watch the show and see,
No doubt.
see how it all
Yo, I
turns
can't.
out.
I literally cannot wait, bro. But I got a question for you. Does Jabari have skills like Solo?
No,
Yeah.
no, no. My son will beat him a lot of times out of a lot of times.
Oh boy.
Oh, dude, your son. So yeah, you have to talk about Solo because I've been on a kick watching these dunks. Like we'll hope in mid game, like bounce the ball off the ground, do like a
Mind
360
blowing, bro.
dunk,
It's
just
insane.
just cause.
Like lift
Just
thirds, dude. I mean, like unbelievable. Like he's got
'cause
stilts.
he's a lot
Yeah,
smaller. He's a lot smaller than you are, right? Like
yeah,
how tall is
yeah.
he?
I mean, at his age, I've been a similar size since I'm probably about 14 years old, honestly, bro. Like 6'6", 220 pounds plus since I was 14. So he is a little. He's 6'2", 190. So he's not a small person.
Mm-hmm.
He's not my size. Um, so I think that's one of the advantages that I did have. But I don't think I had as much like twists and turns in my game. He shoots the three ball better than I shot the three ball. I mean, the kid is electrifying. It's just guys. He got some things, that he needs to mature in the game, and we're working on that right now. But he's got immense talent, and not just in basketball either. He's a real chip off the old block, and he's bringing some of his own elements to things too. He's a really talented artist. He can draw. He can paint. I put him in art instruction from the age of 5 until to this day. He takes art classes, and my son, I would love and I expect my son to be a serious artist on the world stage at some point in time, and he's an actor as well. You'll see him in White Men Can't Jump too, and
Okay.
yeah, he's got a scene with Jack Harlow that's gonna be epic. And then and I also he'll have his TV debut this year, also on the Sterling Affairs. So the kids got it all, and we just continue with both of us to continue to evolve and to be able to bring everything together and really take our household and make to global brand levels. Honestly.
Yeah.
Well,
How cool is that to have your son on the same show as you?
Very surreal, but it's something that I've prayed for, something that I always had envisioned. I think we will do it again and on an even bigger scale for sure. But I mean, I'm somewhat sentimental, and that was definitely a sentimental moment having my director's chair next to my son's director's chair
wow.
on set, and so
Can't
many
even
people
imagine.
congratulating
Yeah.
us and congratulating me on being a great father and being able to do that for your kid. I think what we did right there was very rare. It's very rare that a father actor gets to share a scene, and share a set with his son that's an actor as well. So we definitely appreciate that and take pride in it for sure.
That's incredible. It's like you're trending after Will Smith, bro. Right? Seriously, I literally did the same thing. You're just leveling up.
Yeah. I mean, but I watched all these guys. They've laid a certain blueprint along the way. Will Smith with his kids. I think Jaden and Willow are amazing talents. I'm somewhat of a Jaden Smith fan for sure. I definitely root him on for sure. And I mean, there's some projects and music and some movies that he's done in the past that I like. I mean, my son was like addicted to Karate Kid. Like he watched Karate Kid so many freaking times. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Does he like Cobra Kai? That's the new one.
No, I don't think he really into Cobra Kai. but the kid on Cobra Kai was on Game Shakers first. Tanner Buchanan. Tanner Buchanan wound up being a superstar on Cobra Kai on Netflix, but he was a recurring character on Nickelodeon first. Cree, the character that played Babe, was in love with him. He was the older boy that she was crushing on, and he was like the strong, silent type. I got pictures of me and Tanner. That was my little homie right there. Yeah. Nah,
That's
for real. If Tanner see me, I don't think Tanner probably would in front of me because me and Tanner used to kick it. That was my guy.
that's cool,
I
man.
know he'd have blown up now and he like international heartthrob, but before that, he was my Nickelodeon homie.
That's crazy, dude.
Oh man,
So
Sheldon.
so
Oh, go ahead, bud.
so you talk about Sterling affairs,
Yeah.
right? So explain to us a little bit about Sterling affairs. Like what is it exactly?
The Sterling Affairs is the recreated events of Donald Sterling losing the LA Clippers for getting caught up in a racist rant,
Yep.
pretty much. Yep. And so it dives into that world, the world of the LA billionaires, the world of professional sports, race, sex, controversy, the media, and all the back dealings that, you know what I'm saying, took place and transpired with that situation.
And what character are you playing, brother?
I played DeAndre Jordan.
Woo!
DeAndre Jordan,
Oh my
the
God.
defensive player of the year, the rebound champion,
Dunker.
and the outspoken player
Mm-hmm.
that wanted to boycott.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
crazy.
remember that like it was yesterday. Like I'm a huge JJ Redick fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean not only for his shooting, but because I mean like he wasn't very athletic, right? Right here, you know. But like his jumper was lethal. But his podcast, by the way, is sick as shit too. But I remember vividly. What they laid down, was it the jerseys at center court or
The warm-ups.
The warm-ups, yeah.
The warm-ups. Well, I think people are real. If you love JJ Redick, I believe my buddy Charlie McIlvain, who plays JJ Redick, does a really good job of embodying JJ Redick. And with JJ Redick being a white basketball player, JJ Redick, from my understanding and from our presentation of him, like he was down with his brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever y'all want to do, I want to do it too.
Yep.
And I'm like, if that's how, but I totally believe you because that's just see how JJ is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I think that comes off really dope that JJ is really rocking with the bros. Yeah.
So tell us
great.
a little bit about the cast. Like obviously, there's some big names on the show with you as well.
Yeah, Ed O'Neill plays Donald Sterling, and I think people are going to really love it. It's very, it's just so creepy and cringy and hilarious and brilliant all at the same time.
Yeah, Al
It
Bundy.
is,
Al
man.
Bundy is Sterling.
Seriously.
Yeah, Ed O'Neill out here he's still getting it done in a major way. And then I mean the big dog is Lawrence Fishburne. You know what I'm saying? Morpheus, like that's my guy. You know what I mean? It's really surreal working with Lawrence Fishburne and being buddies with Lawrence Fishburne and like, you know, just Lawrence Fishburne, just, you know, like you get used to this, Lawrence Fishburne. That's the homie. Like that's like, but it's weird too because like he is, but then like you always want to treat him like with like this freaking like certain level of like high level of respect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I just want to call Lawrence Fishburne sir. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't like certain things. I don't say like I wouldn't say to him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel compelled to talk to Lawrence Fishburne on a more elevated way.
Yeah, Shell,
or
one of the questions you got to ask him is, hey, look, if he had the chance, would he have taken the blue pill or the red pill? That's what I want to know. You know, like, would he have stayed in the Matrix or would he have, what would his choice have been?
Probably would have stayed. Yeah. It stayed in and fought the system.
No doubt.
For sure. No, this guy's he's brilliant, man. But he's also he's a down to earth dude, but he also carries himself, you know what I'm saying? Definitely that demands a certain sense of respect. But And then sometimes he'll just, he's just, we just out there just shooting the shit. And it's all good. Like he don't make you feel comfortable. But you just gonna respect him. Period. But like it's that I really feel like it's my buddy. Like that's you know what I'm saying? Like that's a friend at this point in time. And because when you see people in like vulnerable spaces and things like that, you get like a different sense of like who they are and the humanity of them, and things like that. But still, watching him work is amazing. Like for me, that's the most that out of all that's the most I'm watching him work, like watching his moves, like how Lawrence moved. I noticed Lawrence Fishburne was very patient and calm. Like we were 12 hours on set. He might be over here reading his book, chilling, waiting for his time. You know what I'm saying? I never really seen him too much get out of character too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, man, this got to be like freaking TV show like number like 500, like movie day like number like 1500. And it's just like it still look like he's enjoying the process and appreciating the time and like respecting the time and the money that goes into it. And I see some of us early in our careers, we eager to get out of here, we complaining and all that. I'm looking at Lawrence Fishburne like, he's stoic over here, just chilling and shit. I'm like, man, I ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm straight.
It's like he's still enjoying it, which that's
so like
amazing.
working a scene with Lawrence Fishburne. Like tell me like the feeling, I know you're a pro at this. You've been doing this for forever, but you have guys like Lawrence Fishburne. Like, does your heart start racing? Your adrenaline kick in? Like, give me your expression.
Well, it's something I'm conscious of for sure. The gravity of it, because as an actor, there's always new challenges, and I'm like, I work with a lot of guys. Like I worked with LeBron, but LeBron isn't Lawrence Fishburne in acting. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
So for me, I think this is the biggest, or the greatest actor that I've had to share one-on-one scenes with. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading the script. I'm like, DeAndre and Doc Rivers. I was like, yo, that's just me and Lawrence right there, baby. Yo, that's just me and L. Like, oh shoot. I'm like, bro, like, you know what I mean? And there's a few of those. So I'm just like, man. So, the day before, I'm like, man, I got my one-on-one scene with Lawrence Fishburne. That thing was circled on the calendar right there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? The first day that I got to go one-on-one with him. And then, so you just, it's one of those opportunities to test your mettle. But I don't really get nervous too often anymore. I had this one thing. I was doing a LeBron commercial, and it was my first time driving on camera. And we had a lot of extras, had like 300 extras, and we were we were in front of the CAA building, right? I'm in the custom fitted Tom Ford suit. I'm in the Gucci shoes, everything. I'm in the brand new K900. And I get in the car and I sit there and I close the door and like everything is kind of, all that noise and everything is kind of drowned out. It's me in the car. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, what is going on?
What the fuck is going on in my world right now?
I'm about to drive this car up and everybody's going to be watching me. And I got to get out the car and I got to be LeBron James right now. I'm like, dude. But it's like, what you gonna do? You gonna run away, or you gonna do your job?
Yo, that's
that was one of those moments. I'm like, this is what I work towards. You know what I'm saying? I found comfort in that. This is what I've worked towards. I deserve this. This belongs to me. I'm gonna own it. Let's do the job, Shell. Let's go. Yep. And after that, I push it all out. They got pulled.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Shell, you got us? Shell, can you hear us? Check 1, 2.
Did we lose him?
There you
are. No, I'm here.
There you are. Yeah, it froze up there for 1 second.
The power is like tripping right now.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. It's glitching. I don't know. But anyways, I'm still here.
Nice.
There we go. All right. Yep. So power come on and off there. All right.
Ladies
All
and
Ladies and
power
gentlemen.
goes when the power goes off, the show must go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, but yeah, Sheldon, I have to say, I thought I knew, but I had no idea. Like, you embody everything that I think that people ought to aspire to be more like, bro. And I mean that I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I'm being 150% sincere when I say, I can see why your son is leveling up the way that he is, because he's a reflection of all the things that you're doing, and you haven't even started yet, bud. I mean, that's the exciting thing for me. Like, I'm an over the hill 45-year-old guy, but like watching men like you and the trajectory that you're on and the things that you're going to accomplish, let alone all the things that you've already done, is just like, ladies and gentlemen, replay on weareinfinityx.com, Spotify, YouTube. We Are Infinity X YouTube. You're going to remember this episode, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to remember the name Sheldon Bailey. Pay attention, Stay tuned, because where this brother is going is mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. And
I appreciate it.
Of course, brother. And, having the opportunity to spend some time with you this evening on Valentine's Day, no less, right? I mean, I can't, I'm humbled, honored to call you my new friend, and to have been able to listen to your journey of pure excellence and where you're going is just, it's unbelievable. Dave, I'll let you take us out, my friend.
Yeah. Again, Shell, man, thanks so much for hopping on, dude. And like I tell you all the time, like I saw it from day one. I know the potential. I know where you're going, and I do know from the bottom of my heart, as a friend, that you will make it. Not will make it. You're already there, but you're gonna be at a place that like, I see you as the next Michael Jordan of acting eventually, and I'm glad that we got you now.
I appreciate that. There is kind of a Michael B. Jordan of acting right now, but and I mean, hey, and in my mind, I'm on his heels right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm on. I keep seeing Jonathan Majors. I'm like, son, I'm right here. I'm coming for y'all.
If there's a Creed 4, bro, you got to take his ass out, right?
Hey, you know what I mean? And the difference is I'm 6'6".
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Night.
So yeah, all my Hollywood buddies, watch out. I'm hungry.
Oh yeah. All right.
Right.
It was a pleasure, man. This was a good time. I'm glad
For sure.
made this happen. And
all right, y'all. Send me the
future,
clips. All right.
No question.
I'll see.
Peace.
No question about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for spending some time with us this evening. This has been Sheldon Bailey and Young Gray, my new partner. We Are Infinity X is changing the game. Stay tuned for what Sheldon Bailey is up to. Stay tuned for what we are up to. And if you want to follow us, continue to follow us. We Are Infinity X on YouTube. We Are Infinity X on Instagram. We Are Infinity X on Spotify and Apple iTunes. And of course, replay weareinfinityx.com. We'll see you on our next episode.